The following is a live presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. Good morning, afternoon, evening. My name is Ron Chuckett. Welcome to the program for this 16th day. It's not Pi Day. It's not St. Patrick's Day. It's just a Monday. 2026, and today we play the games of Memorial Day, 1986. It's a holiday doubleheader. We do 3 of these a year for Memorial Day, the 4th of July, and Labor Day. So we're pretty much at the quarter pole of the season. And we actually have 2 games today with teams that are in the hunt or in first place in their respective divisions. The first one, the day game, will be the Angels and the Yankees. We did them in the last stream of last week, and it kind of lived up to it, and so they played a wraparound series over the holiday weekend, and they will go in Game 1. Game 2, we go north of the border to Montreal for another appearance by the San Diego Padres, who are still hanging in there against the Houston Astros and the San Francisco Giants in the National League West, while the Expos are only 4 back in the National League East. Again, I expect the Mets to run away with that division, but you just never know. The longer we go, the more closer to alternative reality that we get, and that's kind of half the point of what we're doing. But first, it is Joe Niekro of the Yankees going against Mike Witt as we play a doubleheader for Memorial Day, Monday, May 26th, 1986. Next on Retro Sports Network. Hit the right button. How you doing, Tim? Thank you. As Retro Sports Network presents a holiday doubleheader for Major League Replay 1986. Today from Yankee Stadium and the Big O in Montreal, it is a holiday doubleheader starting with the New York Yankees and the California Angels. And the doubleheader is brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast in the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find Dave and Company on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, wherever else find podcasts to listen. I could never understand how that fast talker could do what he did. Remember the ones from the FedEx ads? Anyway, Joe Niekro, and this will be a bullpen game for the Yankees for sure, is making his 10th start of the year. He is 2-3. He's got the Rick Astley page boy haircut here. 41 years old, throws a knuckler, and what passes for a fastball when he throws it is a Bugs Bunny 81. He is a standard pitcher. He got the win against Oakland in a game that we did 5 days ago, I believe. 13-5, 5 innings, 86 pitches, and that's about what I expect from Niekro. 5 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned. He allowed a homer, he walked 2, and didn't strike out anybody. Niekro, 47 2/3, 53 hits, 34 runs, 31 earned. He's allowed 8 home runs. He's walked 15 and struck out 19. Correct, May 26th was Memorial Day. The Micro Machines pitch guy. Yep. Oh, man, he could just rip it right off. Niekro, by the way, will be with the Yankees until September 7th. And it has nothing to do with Norton sandpaper or anything like that. Here's a lineup he'll face. This is not a doubleheader for the Yankees and the Angels, by the way. No one is actually playing a doubleheader for Memorial Day at 86. Gary Pettis in center field leads off. Rupert Jones in left will bat second. Wally Joyner at first goes third. Always fun when Reggie Jackson comes back to New York. He'll clean up and be the DH. Todd B's bestest friend in the whole wide world, George Hendrick in right will go fifth. Doug DeCinces at third will bat sixth. Rob Wilfong at second will bat seventh. Dick Schofield at short batting eighth. Bob Boone behind the plate goes ninth, and as we said, Niekro can get you 5-6 innings on a good day, but this will be a bullpen game for New York. Defensively for the Yankees, Dan Pasqua a 6 and a 6 in left. Ken Griffey a 2 and a 5 in center. But yet this team's in first place. Mike Easler is in the field today. He's a 2 and a 3 in right. Goodness gracious, that's a bad outfield. Mike Pagliarulo a 5 a third. Bobby Meacham a 5 and a 6 at short. Willie Randolph a 7 and a 9 at second. And Don Mattingly a 10 at first. Butch Weininger a 7 and a 4 behind the plate, and Necro a 7 on the mound with a .957 fielding percentage. Pettis at .246, 2 homers and 19 RBI. He has 13 steals. Twitty? John's been drinking his product again. Pitch to Pettis. Gary hits a ground ball to the mound. Necro throws to Mattingly, and that's how this one starts. Rupert Jones at .243, 4 homers and 11 RBI. Top of the first, doubleheader. Padres and Expos from Montreal, the nightcap. Memorial Day. We're at Memorial Day, May 26, 1986. And yes, it was British Mother's Day, or Mum's Day, yesterday. And so the question I would have, do you get your mum some mums? John's just being silly. Pitch to Jones. Struck him out. Necro got him on an 0-2. That was more of a slurve than it was a knuckler, and there's 2 out. This is game 44, by the way, for California. They are 23-20. And this is game 44 for the Yankees. They are 26-17. Wally Joyner at .326, 6 homers and 23 RBI. So I did the video last night. I never checked my volumes. Dearest Windows patch updates. Pitch to Joyner. Ground ball to second. Randolph can't make a play. Was that a base hit? No, Joyner's going for 2. Willie Randolph just booted it. Didn't even make a throw. It was off his glove. It bounced into center field. It was a great googly boogly. And Joyner's on second with 2 out and an error. For Reggie Jackson, who has this Fu Manchu evil laugh as he steps up, at .225, 5 homers and 17 RBI. Wow. Where was I? Oh, yeah. So, dearest Windows 11 patch makers, when I have a setting in my computer set, such as the microphone level, please do not change it when we update the software. Pitch to Reggie. There's a ground ball past Randolph into right field. Joyner way around third. Easler throws home, and Joyner's in there. And it's 1-0 California on the first hit of the ballgame. Now here's George Hendrick. So Reggie gets the RBI. George Hendrick at .264, 3 homers and 14 RBI. Tim did the Clemente game at 11 p.m. last night, and the wind was howling, of course, and I filmed the game right by a window. You use your phone, right? Fly ball, left field. Pasqua going back. Hendrick has hit this one well, and it's gone. Todd B will pass out. George Hendrick runs the bases, and it's 3-0 California on Hendrick's 4th of the year. So a fly ball to left field, and that's deposited in the pens, and California is up 3-0. I thought you filmed with that. You know, the cameras on those are better than most of the SLR cameras. It's pretty scary. Doug DeCense at .263, 10 homers already, and 34 RBI. Todd B extends the middle finger to Hendrick as he passes home plate. If Hendrick could be bothered to look up, he wouldn't care. Popped up left side. That's actually pretty well hit. The wind's blowing in from left hard, too. Pascal makes the catch, which makes the Hendrick homer even harder to believe. But the Angels put a 3-spot on the board here. 3 runs, 2 hits. The error by Randolph was costly. After half an inning, California 3, here come the Yankees. So this has been a lineup that Mike Witt will face. That's what Todd gets for giving me crap about a losing streak on my channel. Ken Griffey leads off in center field. Willie Randolph, who has a lot to atone to already, is at second, will bat second. Don Mattingly at first will go third. Dan Pasqua cleans up and left. Mike Easler in right will bat fifth. Ron Hassey. Did Lou Piniella just say, screw this, you can have it? is a DH. He'll bat sixth. Actually, he's a 298 hitter, so it's not too bad. Mike Pagliarulo at third will bat seventh. A lot of lefties in the lineup for the Yankees. Butch Weiniger behind the plate batting eighth, and Bobby Meacham at short goes ninth. Witt can go the distance if he needs to. Defensively for the Angels, Doug DeCinces an 8 at third. Dick Schofield is a 7 and a 7 at short. Rob Wilfong is at second, a 6 and a 6 there. Wally Joyner, a 7 at first. Rupert Jones, a 4 and a 5 in left. Gary Pettis, a 10 and a 7 in center. George Hendrick, a 5 and a 7 in right. Bob Boone, a 10 and a 10 behind the plate. And Witt is an 8 on the mound with a .984 fielding percentage. Witt finishing his warm-up tosses, a great start to the year, 5-2 with a .372 earned run average, and that's good for 19th in the American League. He's 25 years old. He throws a fastball at 89 and a standard pitcher. He has fanned 10 4 times already this year, including his last start 5 days ago against the Orioles. How you doing, Barb? In a 6-4 win, he went 8 1/3. 143 pitches, 10 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned. He's allowed a home run. He walked 2 and struck out 11. 15 is his high, by the way, and that was his first start against Seattle. So 72 2/3, 72 hits, 36 runs, 30 of them earned, 11 homers. He's walked 15th, and his 77 strikeouts. I'm doing well, thanks, Barb. Is good for third in the American League. Griffey at 283, 6 homers, and 23 RBI. High ground ball to Joyner, underhands it to Witt, and that's how this one starts for New York. So 69 degrees. It's a day game here in New York, and the wind is howling in from left at 14. Barb's on a tornado watch until 7 o'clock tonight. Wind's howling up here. Willie Randolph at 245, no homers, 6 doubles, and 13 RBI. There are some parts where Mr. Paul King is. That's Adirondack Gust to you. And where they've had some 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts today up in the Adirondacks. Pitch to Randolph. There's a high ground ball to Joyner. Flips it to Witt, and Randolph is out, 2 away. So Don Mattingly, at least, Barb, it's not supposed to snow, right? And you've got some weights around Pippin, so Toto and Dorothy don't go flying to Kansas, right? There's no place like home. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. Don Mattingly at 382, 11 homers, and 49 RBI. Witt deals. Mattingly right back to the mound. Witt's a busy beaver, throws to first, and that will do it. Yankees go in order. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 1, it's 3-0 California. So Wilfong, Schofield, and Boone to face Necro here in the second. Rob at 187, a home run, and 15 RBI. Necro deals. Wilfong a ground ball to Meacham. Bobby's got it over to first. 1 out. For Schofield, hitting .262, 3 homers. Hit 13. I don't remember him being a power hitter. I probably said that the last 3 times we had them on. And 11 RBI. Snow, yes, tonight. Oh, 30 degrees and wow. Yeah, that's not good because roads freeze up. I was supposed to go out Saturday morning. It snowed here Friday night, and the ground was green, but the only thing that was frozen around my place were the sidewalks, and so I couldn't get out. We got out yesterday. Pitch to Schofield. There's a high ground ball to Meacham over to Mattingly, and Schofield is retired 2 away. For Bob Boone, 241, 3 homers, and 18 RBI. I mean, when you look to see what the power outages are, our lines are underground, so that's not an issue here. There's a high ground ball to Meacham. Bobby backhands it, throws to Mattingly, and that is a quick inning. Yeah, it does look good, doesn't it? I didn't realize how short it was until I turned the camera on last night. I don't necessarily look in the mirror. Angels go in order. No runs, no hits, and no errors. After an inning and a half, California 3, New York nothing. My mom loses power all the time. She lives on the side of a hill. And yes, but they're used to it. Cat, again, is screaming at the door. It'll be Pasqua, Easler, and Hasse to face Witt here in the second after a 7-pitch first for Mike. Pasqua at 333, 2 homers and 5 RBI. Fly ball to right. Hendrick loafs over. 1 out. For Mike Easler. I don't remember Easler playing in the field in the American League. He's over from the Red Sox. He was their DH in the mid-'80s. And then essentially, I don't know if they swapped him for Don Baylor even up. But essentially, that's what happened. Easler at 326. He's having a good year for New York. 6 homers and 17 RBI. Witt deals. There's a line shot to DeCincy. He went the opposite way, and DeCincy made the catch. 2 out. For Ron Hasse, hitting .292. 4 homers and 16 RBI. So the Yankees have 2 catchers in the lineup today. Tim, was this Lou Piniella's first managerial job? And I have a feeling that he didn't start the year as manager. Fly ball, center field. Pettis. And that'll do. So no runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the third here in New York. California 3, New York nothing. So top of the lineup for Niekro. 36 pitches his opening 9, 2 innings, 3 unearned runs. The homer was George Hendricks. And there's also a strikeout there, 2 hits. So Jackson and Hendrick have the hits, and they both have RBI. Pettis is 0 for 1. Popped up, Randolph, first base side. He's running. He's trying to see if he can get there, and he will make the catch on the track for the first out. His 12th great play, but that error, there's a 3 spot from that error. Rupert Jones struck out his first time up, the lone strikeout for Niekro. Yep, first for Piniella and first year on the job. I thought so. Lou would turn out to be a very good manager. He won that World Series in Cincinnati. I believe he was manager in Seattle when they went to the ALCS in '95. And, Billy Martin clone, he could get thrown out like the best of them. Pitch to Jones, line drive to Randolph, and Willie is there, 2 out. For Wally World, Wally's 0 for 1. So Niekro has settled in. There is a base hit left field. Going to get past Pasqua, who will allow Wally to get into second standing for his 8th double. So the third hit for the Angels. Here's Reggie Jackson, singled and drove home a run. And Reggie has now driven in 18 on the replay. Weiniger and Niekro have a word. And Reggie waits for the knuckleball for ball 4. Again, it's more of a slurve in the low 70s than it is a true knuckler. So here's George Hendrick laughing to himself because Todd B isn't here. Hit his 4th of the replay in the first and now has driven in 16. Niekro deals. Fly ball to right. Joyner and Jackson aren't going to go anywhere. Easler going back and makes a good catch right at the base of the wall, and that'll do. No runs, a hit. The Angels have left on 2. That was the first 2 base runners left on by anybody. And after 2.5, it's 3-0 California. So Pagliarulo, Weiniger, and Meacham to face Witt here in the third. Pags at 273. 8 homers and 31 RBI. The Yankees have only 1 right-handed hitter in the lineup today against Witt, and that's Willie Randolph. Griffey, Mattingly, Pasqua, Easler, Hasse, and Pagliarulo are all lefties, and Weiniger and Meacham are switch hitters. Punched into right center field for a base hit. So Hendrick throws it back in. The Yankees have a base runner, and here's Butch Weiniger. That should be looking for a bunt. It's a 0, so we won't. 195, no homers, 3 doubles, and 10 RBI. And Witt walks Weiniger. P-Jet, how are you? Stormy, Virginia. I see that Washington, D.C. schools closed early. That's quite a windstorm. Because that's what Barb's going to get later. The mountains here, again, as we said earlier, the Adirondacks had wind gusts in the mid-60s today. Meacham at 219. He's going to bunt here. No homers and 10 RBI. So Pags on second, Weiniger on first. Meacham squares. It's a good bunt. The Sensei has to run, throws to Wilfong, and Meacham's retired. So first, second, and third, 1 out for Ken Griffey, who's 0 for 1. Opening 9 for Witt, 2 1/3, a hit and a walk. Hasn't struck anybody out yet. Barb says stay safe. P-Jet says it's nuts. 1 minute the sun is out, and 15 minutes later the sky is ominous and it's pouring. Yeah, that's pretty scary. So P-Jet, what'd you think of strap basketball? You said you played basic. What? How did you enjoy that? Pitch to Griffey. Base hit left center field. Pagliarulo will score. Weiniger will hold. It's not that Jones has a good arm. It's that Weiniger is on the mobility scooter on third. For Willie Randolph, who is 0 for 1. Curtis, how are you? Work makes everyone's life difficult. So runners on the corners, Yankees on the board. 3-1 Angels here. Witt deals. There's a ground ball to third. To Sensei. Going to try for 2. Wilfong for 1. Randolph's going to reach and the run scores. So Weiniger scores. It makes it 3-2 California. With 2 out and Randolph on first. For Mattingly, who is 0 for 1. Headed to Michigan tomorrow. Oh, for your spring break. Do you work in the schools, Curtis? PJ got strapped back in the 90s. Thought it was well designed, but I don't know how to implement strategies in advanced version. I would say, if you still have it, just play it straight up. I mean, I think the whole thing is, for that, is play what you think you would enjoy. I think double teaming is overrated. The computer doesn't do it that often because someone else is always going to be open. Fly ball to right. Hendrick. That's pretty shallow. George will make the catch, and that'll do. Yankees, however, get on the board. 2 runs, 2 hits. They leave on a runner. And after 3 in the first of 2 today, Angels 3, Yankees 2. So to Sensei, Wilfong, and Schofield to face Necro here in the 4th. How you doing, John Turnbull? Oh, Human Resource Director for 12 years, compliance. Oh, dear, I'm so sorry. All right. Is this the new Encyclopedia Britannica? This 21-volume set? No, it's the new rules that you must follow and know everything on. Good luck with that. Pitch to the Sensei. Base hit center field. 4th hit for the Angels. For Wilfong is 0 for 1. I'm not too off on it, am I, there, Curtis? So I would play, if you were to make that move, if you still have it, I wouldn't worry about sag. I wouldn't worry about close. I would just do kind of middle of the road and just kind of gradually do things. But look, it's not, you really don't need to know too much about strategy. Just common sense. The forwards and the centers take the closer shots. The guards are going to take outside shots or penetrate. Again, unless you're going to do a full season replay, the stats really don't matter as much. As long as the flow is good for you, play it how you wish. Pitch to Wilfong. There is a base hit center field. Griffey throws it back in. So the Angels threatening again. Here's Schofield. He's 0 for 1, and he can bunt. So we'll play for it. Pagliarulo and Mattingly come in. The Sensei on second. Wilfong on first. Nobody out here in the fourth. 3-2 Angels. Struck him out. 2-2 Knuckler got him. So 1 out for Bob Boone. Now, do you do it again? How you doing, Big Dave? Lack of available. Oh, yeah. No, and I think that's the bugaboo for Strat Cards and Dice basketball is that they never release an older season. That's a whole nother topic for another day. I think they would sell it. I think they would sell, even if it was just a 6-team selector set. I think it would sell. Pitch to Boone, who's 0 for 1 up the middle. Meacham, Randolph for 1. Mattingly for 2. They get out of it. The Angels threaten but do not score. Good defense by Bobby Meacham after 3.5. Angels 3, Yankees 2. So here are the standings. And here's the Major League stats because we're doing a National League game for the second game. Houston a half game up on the Dodgers. 2.5 up on San Diego. You'll see San Diego in about 35 minutes. Then San Francisco, Cincinnati, and Atlanta. In the East, the Mets are up 4 on Montreal and 4.5 on St. Louis. Montreal being one of the 2 big surprises, I think, in this replay. In the American League West, Oakland 2.5 up on California, 4 up on Curtis's Rangers, and 4 up on the Royals. In the East, the Yankees are in first at 26-17, a half game up on Toronto, 2.5 up on Detroit, and look who's in last place. Mr. Cook and I are going to have a talk about the Red Sox. They shouldn't be that bad. There's a lot of baseball left, but they got to find a way to do something without Roger Clemens on the mound. And Clemens is 5-2. I looked. It'll be Pasqua, Easler, and Hasse to face Witt here in the fourth. Pasqua's 0 for 1. Base hit, left field. Pettis cuts it off. Pasqua will hold with a single. And that's the third hit for the Yankees. Easler is 0 for 1. Struck him out. First for Witt. 0-2 on the outside corner. Ron Hasse is 0 for 1. And he draws the walk. Mike, not as wild as Bobby, and I don't believe there's a relation between the two. California, about where I'd expect them to be. Slightly around 500, but in good shape. And the Yankees, I mean, pitching-wise, I don't know if they are the best team in the division, but they can rake. Pagliarulo is a single today. He's 1 for 1. Pasqua on second. Hasse on first. No, it's a doubleheader. So I didn't do a poll for both ends. Then you get 4 options. So didn't forget. Got away from Boone. But Pasqua doesn't go. So 2 for the price of 1. Fly ball to right. Hendrick going back. George should have it. He does. And Hasse back to first. Pasqua is going to try it. Hendrick, direct throw to third. Pasqua slides, and he's in there. So Pasqua on third. Hasse on first for Weiniger, who walked. One of the 2 walks for Witt at the plate. 3-2 Angels, 2 out, bottom of the fourth. P-Jet rooting for the Angels. Line shot to third. The Sensei snares it, makes a leaping catch to retire the side. So the Yankees will leave on 2. They threaten but do not score. No runs, no hits, or 1 hit, no errors. We go to the 5th. California 3, the Yankees 2. We're doing Mets on Wednesday, and the third game, it's all National League. Houston to Montreal is the third date this week with Mike Scott. First time that Mike will have been on the replay. So, NL the rest of the way this week. Gary Pettis is 0 for 2. 18 batters deep for Niekro. 70 pitches, so probably his last inning. 4 innings, 3 unearned runs. 5 hits, the homer to Hendrick, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. Pettis is 0 for 2. Struck him out. Niekro is fan 3. He got that knuckler in there. 1 out for Rupert Jones, who's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Hard ground ball to Mattingly over to Niekro, and Rupert is retired 2 away. If he can get Joyner quickly, they can bring him out for the 6th. Wally World 1 for 2 with a double. He now has 8. Ground ball to short. Meacham. Long throw to Mattingly, and we are halfway home. Hey, Niekro's going to come back out. We've halfway through game 1 of 2. Yankees trail it 3-2. Join us late. Doubleheader day here. We got the Padres and Expos to follow. 3-2 Angels. California got all 3 runs in the first. A Reggie Jackson single scored Wally Joyner to make it 1-0. George Hendrick, a 2-run homer to make it 3-0, which caused Todd B to boycott the rest of the stream. Ken Griffey with an RBI single in the third to make it 3-1. And then Willie Randolph, whose big boo-boo in the top of the first allowed the 3 runs to score, hit a fielder's choice to make it 3-2. Mike Witt, 3-hitter through 4. 2 runs, both earned. He walked 2 and struck out 1 so far. Joe Niekro, going to get 6, maybe 5 innings, 5 hits, 3 unearned runs. The homer to Hendrick. He has walked 1 and struck out 3. To lower his ERA to 5.30. Bobby Meacham walked his first time up. That was the other walk. George Hendrick hit a home run in the first. And made a great play in the field. Fly ball, left field. Rupert, 1 out. Someone want to get Todd B the AED. His heart just stopped. Ken Griffey is 1 for 2. He has singled and driven in a run. 58 pitches for Witt, 18 batters, 4 1/3. 2 runs, both earned, 3 hits. He's walked 2 and struck out 1. This defibrillator break brought to you by the California Sperm Bank. This is We didn't say whose fantasy it was, Todd. And Tribe fan said you gave him the finger as he crossed home plate. Pitch to Griffey, fly ball to left. Jones going back, crowd likes it, but that wind is howling in there from 20, and Rupert will make the catch 2 out. For Willie Randolph, who's 0 for 2 with an RBI. It is true. When he said that after the home run, I just laughed. Because it's funny. Pitch to Randolph. There's a base hit left field. Jones will grab it on a hard hop. Randolph around first. And that's the 4th hit for the Yankees. Here's Mattingly. Don is 0 for 2. Mike from the truck doing his best Marcel Marceau impression. Wave high because he can't hear you. Mattingly rips this one to right. Hendrick will pick it up on a hop. Can't play it. Mattingly will get second. Randolph will hold as right on cue. George Hendrick makes his first error of the year. And through the press box, all you can hear is maniacal laughing with someone wearing a Cleveland Indians hat. I'm not going to say who it is. I'll run that past Mark. You know, a great story for box scores from the basement would be Todd's story, and at the end, you and George Hendrick embrace and cry and forgive him. Do you need Oprah to bring you together? Oh, that would be hilarious. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Pitch to Pasco, 1 for 2. Fly ball to right. Back goes Hendrick, and George will turn and watch it go. For Pasco, that's his third. And the Yankees now go up 5-3. Doubleheader, Greg. That's why we started at 11:30. So the Yankees have put a 3 spot on the Witt with that. Holy cow, White. That ball was hammered. Oh, like the Eagles fans who shook Harvey Martin's hand after being mad at him? Just remember, as Mike Easler steps in 0 for 2 with the strikeout, if, let's say, at the end of a bad year, and you promise one of the hard-paying fans that come to, let's just throw out a name, Penn Stadium or Penn Field, and you promise, let's say, a new car for somebody who's at the game, and then are too cheap to provide said new car, don't be surprised when snowballs rain down and pelt Santa Claus. Pitch to Easler. There's a high ground ball to Wilfong, but the damage is done as the Yankees have a 3 spot on the board here in the 5th. The 3-run homer from Dan Pasqua. The error again hurts. And after 5, it's the Yankees 5, the Angels 3. That was a fun show, P-Jet. And somehow I got disconnected and then reconnected. So hopefully we're all still here. Reggie Jackson, George Hendrick, and Doug DeCinces to face Necro here in the 6th. Reggie has a walk, an RBI. He's now driven in 18 and a single. Every documentary needs a redemption story. I just remember every kiss begins with K. Pitch to Reggie, walked him. And so here is George Hendrick. 1 for 2. He homered in the first. Time comes. I can't do Tewksbury. So Hendrick, the tying run, 1 for 2. It is now buffered for me too. Mattingly's got it, takes it to the bag, and now I have lost. Uh-oh. Hold on. Yeah, it seems to be an issue on my end now, too, as we are dropping frames. Not what you want. So 1 out. Jackson on second. DeCinces 1 for 2. So Necro right at the end of it here, 1 out in the 6th. He deals, and DeCinces draws the walk, and we will pull Necro. So we try to get him through the 6th. Doesn't going to work. Surely you jest. It is Bob Shirley coming in. We got a pitching change. This game coming to you from Yankee Stadium in New York. So Shirley 1 and 2. He is a 5.74 ERA. No, it was a buffer on my end. We dropped 1,200 frames, which at 30 frames a second, you can do the math. 9. This is his 10th appearance. He's still got 2 starts left. 32 years old. Now it says it's all good. Fastball 87 and a fly ball pitcher. Last pitched 4 days ago against Oakland in a 12-6 loss, 2 2/3. 53 pitches, 9 hits, 5 runs, all earned. He's allowed a homer. He walked 2 and didn't strike out anybody. 31 in the third for Shirley, 36 hits, 22 runs, 20 earned, 9 homers. He walked 16 and struck out 27. So Will Fong, 1 for 2. Jackson on second, 1 out, and DeCinces on first. And Doug is the go-ahead run. And Brian Downing is going to pinch hit. So the wheels are turning. Downing, this is a pinch hit experience. Hasn't done it so far. 255, 5 homers, and 25 RBI. Shirley could potentially finish this up. If they can get 2, then they can go to Righetti in the 8th. His job is to get some outs, and Downing draws the walk. So the bases are loaded, and 1 out for Dick Schofield. Is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Schofield has a grand slam this year. And he walks. So Reggie scores, clapping his hands all the way. It's 5-4. Shirley hasn't retired anybody. He's walked 2. And here is Bob Boone, who is 0 for 2. So a 5-4 game. California, a run here in the top of the 6th. Up the middle, base hit. DeCinces scores. Downing holds at third. And Shirley hasn't retired anybody, and it's a tie game. I don't think we're going to get the Get a Life speech from Hal or John Herson, right? People who buy my products, get a life. Gary Pettis is 0 for 3. Bob Shirley pitching out there like Shirley Booth. And that is a base hit into right field. Downing scores. Schofield around third. Easler throws home. And that got away from Weiniger, and everybody else moves up. Boone will score. As Easler threw that one away, it's a big old ballpark here. And it's now 8-5 California as the Yankees commit their second error of the ball game. Goodness gracious. So Bob Shirley hasn't retired anybody yet. He's given up 3 earned runs, 2 hits, and 2 walks. That's what you get to have a Red Sox fan to run a team. Throw down to third. Pettis goes. He steals his 14th base of the year. We're reaching prom dress territory right now for the Yankees because it's all come undone. Oh, my goodness. What do you do? So Lou Piniella storms out of the dugout. Shirley says, I can get somebody out. Piniella says, when would you care to do that? Shirley says, but my draft duel says, fan duel says, Piniella says, I'll give you Joyner. Get a runner out, idiot. Wally's 1 for 3. That's going to be a base hit into right field. Pettis will score. Piniella's just stood there on the top step. And now what do you do? Oh, my goodness. What do you do? I suppose you can go with Tommy John again, but he pitched yesterday. Or 2 days ago. What do you do here? Do you go with Tommy? I mean, Shirley hasn't retired a batter. Shatner is one of Greg's in Canada. Not too many people he've met in 36 years that worked with liked him much. No. Leave him in. All right. The wrath of Lou Piniella, you can just see him seething on that top step. Reggie, with a big old grin on his face, has walked twice, driven in a run and single. Shirley Deal struck him out. 2-2. And there's finally 2 out for George Hendrick, who homered in the first. He is 1 for 3. Left field, Pasqua. That should stay in the yard. It's howling in there from left. And after that fight, Shirley gets 2. But they need to separate Piniella and Shirley in the dugout, because after 5.5, the Angels, well, they weren't Angels. They scored 6 on 3 hits in an hour. Your late uncle served with James Doohan. So was he at Normandy as well? Yes, Shatner certainly would be a person, Todd, that would refer to himself in the third. Bill Shatner loves Bill Shatner. Wow. Yeah, a Bronx cheer from the Bronx crowd. Hasse, Pagliarulo, and Weiniger to face Witt. It's a Dolly Parton game, 9-5. California, bottom 6. Hasse 0 for 1 with a walk. Struck him out. Witt now as a 4-run lead as he's looking for his 6th win. Pagliarulo 1 for 2 with a single. Got him! A good morning and a good afternoon as Witt says this is how you pitch. He's only struck out 3. Butch Weiniger 0 for 1 with a walk. There is a line shot to right. Hendrick can't get there, and Weiniger is going to reach on a single. And George did fall asleep in right field just as he made that play. Meacham is 0 for 1. So, after the first season of Star Trek, produced by Lucille Ball's company, Desilu, pitch to Meacham, there is a drag bunt past Gritch into right field, and Weiniger is on his way to third. Hendrick doesn't have a bad arm. Don't listen to Todd. To throw to third, not in time. So Gritch is now at second. He's a 7 there. Runners in the corners, 2 out for Griffey, who's 1 for 3 with an RBI and a single. Witt, 27 batters, 93 pitches, 5 2/3, 5 runs, all earned. 8 hits. The homer to Pasqua. 2 walks and 3 strikeouts. Greg's aunt also served in World War II after lying about her age to get in the service. She was a sergeant by the end of it. That's a great story. So, the folks at Desilu were kind of surprised that Star Trek got picked up for season 2. Pitch to Griffey, fly ball to right center field, back goes Hendrick, and that's gone! So Griffey hits his 7th. That's a 3-run shot, and it's 9-8. Not a pitcher's duel here in New York. Griffey just ripped that one, and that found the bleachers into right center. We'll get to the Shatner story in a second. So Weiniger, Meacham, and Griffey score. And after all those 6 runs, California got in the top of the 6th. It first 1-11. Might win this. It's a volleyball game. Goodness gracious. Here's Willie Randolph. He's 1 for 3 with an RBI. If the Yankees hadn't made the errors, they'd be ahead. Left center, Pettis makes the catch, and that'll do. We go to the 7th. 3 runs, 3 hits. The homer from Ken Griffey, who's now driven in 4. California 9, Yankees 8. Yep, some beer league softball. So DeCinces, Gritch, and Schofield to face Shirley, who they had to separate from Lou Piniella. DeCinces 1 for 2 with a walk. Did Desi turn to Lucy when Star Trek was renewed and say, "You've got some splaining to do, Lucy"? Ricky, Desi. So they were kind of surprised when they got the second season, from my understanding. And so there's a memo that was passed along about props for the second year and trying to save a little more money. And the fact that Shatner, who wore a rug the entire time, had walked off after the first season with his toupee. They wanted another toupee, but they wanted Shatner to return the one from season 1. And now you know the rest of the story. There's a base hit left center field. Pascal will pick it up on a hop. The Sensei has a second hit. Both teams have 9. Grich at 377. Oh, by the way, 3 homers and 16 RBI. 9-8. Angels lead. Top of the 7th. That is a bunt. Weiniger throws it down to Randolph at first, and Grich is retired. 1 out. For Schofield, 0 for 2. A walk, an RBI, and a strikeout. You had a company softball game that once ended 41-6 in your favor. And how many times did you have to go get 6x4s? Or 4x6s? Barb says, I've increased my opinion of Barb's opinion of Shatner. I believe he does have the years, but he waited till the series was over. 41-6, that'd be terrible. That's a CFL score. Ground ball to Randolph, over to Mattingly, 2 out. The Sensei goes to third, 2 out for Boone, 1 for 3, with a single and an RBI. That's a ground ball to third. Pagliarulo waits, long throw to Mattingly, stretch time, 9-8 Angels. So Doug Corbett will come in. Jim Murray wiping off his glasses looking at these numbers. 2-1. 10th appearance with a 9.20 ERA. Speaking of awful, 33 years old. Fastball at 83. A ground ball pitcher. Got the win against these Yankees here in New York on Friday night. He went 3 innings and an 8-3 win, 38 pitches, 2 hits. The run was a solo homer and a strikeout. So 14 2/3, 20 hits, 17 runs, 15 earned, 4 homers. He walked 5 and struck out 5. It was Toronto that in 2 consecutive outings over the course of a week put 10 earned runs on him in 4 2/3. Mattingly 1 for 3 with a single. And to paraphrase Mr. Gregg, it was awful. Fly ball, center field. Pettis, 1 out. That wind is howling in from left at 20. And it's 75. It's a gorgeous day here in New York. Dan Pasqua has a 3-run homer. Now has 8 RBI. He's 2 for 3 today. Struck him out. Oh, 1-2. Got him swinging. Mike Easler 0 for 3 with a K. Fly ball, right center field. Pettis going back. We're tied up. Easler put that one at the base of the Diamondtron for his 7th of the year. And it's 9-9. Holy cow, right? If we go past 1 with the first game, we're not doing the second. So just put it out there. Ron Hasse is 0 for 2 with a walk. He is the only Yankee not to have a hit. Rigged. Pitch to Hasse. High ground ball now. Every Yankee's got a hit as Hendrick throws it back in. 9 runs, 9 hits, an error for the Angels. They left on 6 for New York. 9 runs, 11 hits, 2 errors, and they have left on 3. Struck him out. Corbett gets out of it, but not really. The Yankees tie it up. 1 run, 2 hits, and no errors. We go to the 8th, 9-9. So Pettis, Jones, and Joyner for Shirley. Gary 1 for 4 as a single and cleared the bases. He has 3 RBI and a strikeout. Drops one down. Weiniger throws. Pettis is out. So goes 2-4 on the bunt for Rupert Jones. 0 for 3. A walk and a strikeout. So somehow, some way, despite the fact that he's allowed 4 runs in this one, Bob Shirley could win this game. Fly ball to right. Easler makes the catch, 2 out. For Wally Joyner, who's 2 for 4, he's got a single, a double, and an RBI. Shirley deals. High ground ball past Randolph into right field. Easler throws it back in, and that's the 10th hit. So Reggie up there with a Cheshire grin on his face. He has singled. He has walked twice, and he was struck out by Bob Shirley. It'll be Weiniger, Meacham, and Griffey to face We'll See in the bottom of the 8th. Shirley deals. Reggie grounds this one, or lines this one foul first base side. And somebody from Mineola made that catch. It's a ball and 2 strikes. Struck him out. Bob Shirley faced Reggie Jackson twice and struck him out twice. And if the Yankees get a run here, Shirley's going to win this. We've played 7.5. It's a funny game, isn't it? No runs, 1 hit, no errors. It's the Angels 9, the Yankees 9. So Weiniger, Meacham, and Griffey to face Corbett here at least to start the 8th. Butch 1 for 2, a single and a walk. Fly ball to right. Hendrick moving over. 1 out. For Bobby Meacham. Bobby, a single. I don't think I have anybody. I have 2 other shortstops. Well, you know who's going to bat? Dave Winfield at .323, 9 homers, and 31 RBI. We have shortstops. Winfield right up the box. Corbett throws to Joyner, and Dave is retired. 2 out for Ken Griffey, who is 2 for 4. He has singled, homered, and driven in 4. He now has 27 RBI on the year. We got Ricky in the bottom of the 9th if we need it. Fly ball right center. Pettis going back. Gary makes the catch, and we're going to the 9th in a 9-9 tie. So Dale Barrett will come in the game and play short. He's a 6 there. It'll be Hendrick to lead off. George 1 for 4. He is homered and driven in 2. Popped up. Left side. Pagliarulo. Winds have shifted now to left or right. And he drops it! He had a beat on it, and he dropped it. It's the 3rd Yankee error of the ball game. And no one is more surprised to be on than George Hendrick. Here comes Righetti. Rags is 27. He is 3-0. Not a save situation, making his 16th appearance. although he's closed the door 6 out of 7 times. Fastball at 90 and a ground ball plus pitcher. He can go 3 innings. He last pitched yesterday against the Angels, Sunday afternoon, in an 11-5 win. He got the win. Inning and 2/3, 24 pitches, a walk and a strikeout. 23 1/3 for Rags, 19 hits, 8 runs, all earned, 2 homers, 13 walks, and 11 strikeouts. Mr. Turnbull can put away his My Voodoo doll. DeCinces is 2 for 3. He has singled twice and walked. Hendrick, the go-ahead run is on. Ground ball to Berra. Randolph 1, Mattingly 2. So 2 quick out, 3 pitches to get 2 outs for Bobby Grich, who walked his first time up. Yes, the Blue Jays would hit Righetti pretty hard. The Red Sox did not, especially July 4th, 83. And Grich draws the walk, so 2 out. It'll be Randolph, Mattingly, and Pasqua for the Yankees in the bottom of the 9th. Schofield is 0 for 3. He has walked, driven in a run, and struck out. Ground ball to Randolph, over to Berra, and that will do. The error does not hurt. No runs, a hit, 1 error. Been a sloppy one here in New York. We go to the bottom of the 9th in a 9-9 tie. So Randolph, Mattingly, and Pasqua to face Doug Corbett, who allowed the home run, I believe, to Griffey. This one's been a slobber knocker. And that's an infield hit. Check swing. Boone and Corbett tried to get there, and Randolph beat it out. Boone just ate the ball, and now we're going to hit and run. Mattingly 1 for 4. Randolph, the winning run. Runner goes, ground ball to Corbett. They get 1. They got Randolph. Oh, that worked. So Mattingly, the winning run, is on. What a play by Corbett. Schofield bolted right to the bag, and so Mattingly didn't get the job done on the hit and run. I don't hit and run that much, but I saw that he would make contact, and pretty much that's all you need. But he made contact right back to the mound. Pasqua has homered in this one. He is 2 for 4. He now has 3 homers and driven in 8. Boone and Corbett have a word. 1 out, bottom 9. Fly ball popped up. Joyner. We're looking at freebie baseball here in a moment. 2 out for Easler, who is homered in this one. He now has 7 on the replay and has driven in 18. And Corbett's tank is on E. Base hit left field. Jones will cut it off. Mattingly is on his way to third. The throw is cut off by Schofield. The winning run is 90 feet away. For Hassey, who is 1 for 3 with a walk and a strikeout. Easler pulls up the Adirondack chair. Mattingly can score, can win the game on a wild pitch or a pass ball. Although with Boone, that'd be pretty tough. Hassey swings, ground ball to first. Joyner's got it. Gardner ball. Yankees, no runs, 2 hits, no errors. They've left on 6. We go to the 10th. Toronto. California 9, New York 9. So Boone, Pettis, and Jones to face Righetti here in the 10th. Bob 1 for 4, is RBI and a single. Let's play 3. Oh my goodness. Pitch to Boone, and he draws the walk. Gary Pettis is 1 for 5, but he has 3 RBI and a strikeout. Boone is a threat to steal. We throw to first. And Boone is even a more threat to steal. Oh, Miska Muska Mouseketeer. 9 runs, 10 hits, an error for California. They have left on 8. The Yankees, 9 runs, 13 hits, and 3 errors. And they have left on 6. Pettis drops one down. Mattingly throws to Randolph, and Pettis is retired. Boone moves up to second. 1 out for Rupert Jones, who's 0 for 4 with a walk and a strikeout. Joyner on deck has had a 3-hit day, so they're going to pitch to Rupert. High ground ball to Mattingly. Takes it to the bag. 2 out. So Boone on third for Joyner. 3 for 5. Wally has doubled, singled twice, driven in a run. This one has just kind of seen everything but Yul Brenner. Tips it on a 3-1, and the count now favoring Righetti. From the wind. Ground ball to Randolph. Over to first. Joyner is out on a bang-banger. And look who's coming in to pitch. Dave Letterman's best friend, the old fat tub of goo, Terry Forster. Forster making his 15th appearance, and he did look pretty chunky there. 34 years old, the former Dodger, 1-1 with a 4.96 ERA. He saved 5 days ago against Baltimore in a 6-4 win, 2/3 of an inning, 9 pitches, and a strikeout. He would be the pitcher of record here, along with Righetti. 16 1/3 for Forster, 19 hits, 10 runs, 9 earned. He has walked 6 and struck out 12. Pagliarulo was going to stay in the game. Weiniger and Barra to face Terry in the 10th. If the Yankees score, they win. Base hit left field. Jones picks it up, and the winning run is on. And Weiniger can't bunt. And I believe this is why you don't burn your other catcher as the DH. Because you're going to lose him. And you don't want to do that. So Weiniger is going to swing. You could do it for Barra with Ricky Henderson on the bench because you have Mike Fischlin who can play short. Pitch to Butch, and he walked him. Forster's mom used to say to her son was just a big bone tub of goo. So Dale Barra looks down. There is nobody out. Do you bunt Barra or do you... I think you pinch hit Ricky here, right? The computer says leave him in. No, you got to pinch hit. So Gary Renicky will come in to pinch hit. His 3 game-winning RBIs at 222, 2 homers, and 14 RBI. He can't bunt, but he can draw a walk and put the winning run on with nobody out for Ken Griffey. How you doing? Padres and Expos warming up from Montreal. Struck him out. Forster got him on a 2-2 looking. Boy, that worked. So here's Griffey, 2 for 5 today, a home run and 4 RBI, and a 9-9 tie in the 10th. And so you look again, and 248, 210. Wow. I think you bring in Ricky. So they tell Ricky, who's hitting 246, 7 homers, and 23 RBI, don't swing at anything you're not comfortable with. Up the middle, a base hit. Pagliarulo around third. They're going to run on Pettis to throw to the plate. They got him. Schofield with a bad play. They don't stop him. You trying to win with 2 out. And now it's Willie Randolph. 2 for 5 in RBI. A tremendous throw by Gary Pettis to save the ball game. So Ricky did what he was supposed to do, which was drive home the run, and now you got good batters. You already used Winfield. You used him earlier for Bobby Meacham. Willie has singled twice and driven in a run. Ground ball past Hendrick. Weiniger will score, and the Yankees win it on a walk-off single from Willie Randolph. What a ball game. So we will do the second game. The Yankees win. 3 hours and 54 fake minutes. 10 runs, 16 hits, and 3 errors for New York. They left on 6. They go to 27 and 17. 9 runs, 10 hits, and error for California. They go to 23 and 21. And leave on 9. Bob Shirley gets the blown save. Dave Righetti goes to 4-0. 2 innings and 2 walks. He had minus stuff. Necro gets the start, 5 1/3, 5 hits, 5 runs, 2 earned, a homer. He walked 3 and struck out 3. Shirley, you jest, was horrible. 2 2/3, 5 hits, 4 runs, all earned. Earned run average goes to 635. He walked 3 and struck out 2. Mike Witt, 6 innings, 9 hits, 8 runs, all earned. The 2 homers. He walked 2 and struck out 3 and minus stuff. Corbett pitched too much. 3 innings, 4 hits. A run was earned. He gave up the home run to Griffey, or was it Easler, and struck out 2. And then Forster, 2/3 of an inning, 3 hits. A run it was earned, a walk, and a strikeout. All right, game 2 from Montreal. So the Yankees have a 1-game lead at the moment. Yeah, we've had some good games in this replay, haven't we? So Dave Dravecki and Jay Tibbs. Going at it. Jay Tibbs, 24 years old, making his 10th start. They call him Mr. Tibbs. 3-3 on the replay, a 4.73 ERA. 24 years old, fastball at 88. And the standard pitcher pitched against the Dodgers 5 days ago, and Scotty Howard's team beat him 8-0. 5 innings, 91 pitches, 11 hits, 3 runs, all earned, a walk, and 2 strikeouts in the loss. 53 1/3 for Tibbs, 62 pitches. I take it he's going to go to Cincinnati, right? 29 runs, 28 earned, 10 homers, 17 walks, and 38 strikeouts. Here's the lineup for San Diego. Tim Flannery leads off at second. Tony Gwynn in right will bat second. Kevin McReynolds in center will go third. Terry Kennedy behind the plate will clean up. Greg Nettles, who watched the Yankee game in extreme jealousy, at third will bat fifth. Dane Org at first will bat sixth. Gary Templeton at short will bat seventh. John Kruk is in the lineup today. He's in left, he'll bat eighth. And Dave Dravecki, a good pitcher, known more for his injuries, but when he was healthy, he was pretty good, will bat ninth. And Tibbs can give you 110 pitches. Defensively for Montreal, Tim Wallach in line at third. Kimmy Brooks, who's playing halfway through his schedule already, a 3 and a 4 at short. Vance Law, a 5 and a 6 at second. Andres Galarraga, an 8 at first. Tim Raines, a 6 and a 6 in left. Mitch Webster, a 6 and a 7 in center. Andre Dawson, a 9 and a 9 in right. Dan Billardillo, a 7 and a 3 behind the plate. Tibbs, an 8 on the mound with a 1,000 fielding percentage. Tibbs was traded from Cincinnati. Okay, for Andy McGaffigan? That would make sense. So Flannery leads off. Tim at 281. A homer and 15 RBI. Padres, this is game 43 for them. Yeah, what happened to Dravecky was a tragedy. 24 and 18 are San Diego. And for the Expos, this is game 41. They are 23 and 17. And trailed the Mets by 4 games. So Barb is rooting for San Diego. And Flannery starts it off with a walk. John, I think the reason why some of these seasons stick with us better than others, Tony Gwynn at 355, by the way, 3 homers and 22 RBIs, because we do remember details such as that. And by the way, I had a bagel with half a bagel and cream cheese for breakfast this morning. Pitch to Gwynn. There's a ground ball to Laws. They get 2, Brooks for 1, and Tony's going to reach. And Tony, before he became a sizable person, had speed. An 88% chance to steal here. Kevin McReynolds at 315, 8 homers and 31 RBI. The throw to first, and Gwynn is back. Fly ball, left center, Webster makes the catch. Gwynn goes back to first, and there's 2 out. For Terry Kennedy, Terry at 262, 3 homers and 24 RBI. Yankees won the opener 10-9 in 10 innings. Steve's written for the Expos. How you doing, Steve? With you, I think Wednesday is the next time we're with you on this channel. Mets, I want to say Dodgers, but swings ground ball to the mound. Tibbs third base side over to Galarraga, and Kennedy is retired. Whole bagel with peanut butter to start Greg's day. Yummy, yummy. That'll do. Padres, no runs, no hits, and no errors. Halfway through the first, no score. I don't want to dwell on this for Dravecky because I think it takes away from the fact that he, in his day, was a good pitcher. 30 years old, fastball at 85, and a fly ball pitcher. On the replay, 4-2 with a 3.22 ERA. 9 starts, he's finished 1. Dravecky faced the Phillies 5 days ago, beat them 4-1. He went 8 innings, 116 pitches, 7 hits. A run it was earned. He walked 1 and struck out 5. 58 2/3 for Dravecky, 52 hits, 23 runs, 21 earned. 2 homers, he walked 17 and struck out 39. Yep, Gwynn, Boggs, Carew, guys who could handle a bat. Yep. It's Dwight Gooden Day, Barbara, on Wednesday. And I'm not managing the Mets. Timmy Raines leads off for the Expos in left field. Mitch Webster will bat second and play second. Andre Dawson will go third in right field. Hubie Brooks cleans up at short. Tim Wallach at third will bat fifth. This is not a bad team at all. Andres Galarraga at first will bat sixth. Vance Law at second, batting seventh. Dan Billadello behind the plate goes eighth, and Mr. Tibbs will bat ninth. Dravecky can get you 7-8. Barb is liking the fact that the computer is managing the Mets. I'll try not to take too much offense to that. John Kruk, a 4 and a 5 and left for the Padres. Kevin McReynolds, a 6 and a 7 in center. Tony Gwynn, a 10 and a 7 in right. Craig Nettles, a 6 at third. Gary Templeton, a 7 and a 7 at short. Tim Flannery, a 6 and a 6 at second. Mr. Orge is a 4 at first. Kennedy, a 5 and a 4 behind the plate. Dravecky, a 7 on the mound with a 974 fielding percentage. Raines at 373. He will not bunt here. He hit 3 homers so far and has driven in 16. Any truth to the rumor that Youppi is a big triple? I believe he is the only mascot to have traded sports. Oh, it's a doctor. I know, Barb. I'm just giving you a hard time. Pitch to Raines. Base hit, right center field. Gwynn will pick it up. And Raines starts the ball game with a single for Mitch Webster at 3:08. 3 homers and 31 RBI. Yep, Padres wearing the brown and gold in 86. They go to the World Series, they change uniforms. They no longer looked like mustard packets or someone that was dressed like Sergio Garcia's tailor. Throw to first, Raines is back. Youppi, when the Expos moved to Washington, not by choice, then again, does any team really choose to move? Became the mascot of the Montreal Canadiens. I can't imagine, since it's been the better part of 20 years, and it's the same person in the Youppi costume. These uniforms were a lot cleaner. Raines is going to go. Kennedy doesn't even throw it, and Raines doesn't go. He was told to go. They are classic. Now we're going to have a discussion about whether the McDonald's uniforms the Padres wore were ugly. They were. Webster, the 1 strike count. Throw to first, Raines is back. Now what do? We're going to swing. Fly ball, popped up, brother. Oh, fly ball. Templeton in the outfield, 1 out. Andre Dawson at 295, 8 homers and 30 RBI. There was a day and age in baseball in the 70s and mid-80s where they would test the limits of your color television. Raines goes to throw down a Flannery, and Tim has his 28th steal. And this is going to be inside for those of you who worked on television. But the standard for analog color television in North America, both Canada and the United States and Mexico, a 1 strike count to Dawson, was called NTSC, which was the National Television Standards Committee. Pitch to Dawson. Struck him out, and there's 2 away. So an 0-2, and Dravecky got him on an inside corner at the knees for Hubie Brooks, hitting .351, 9 homers, and 37 RBI. But in the early days of color television, especially with tube-based stuff in the back, because all CRTs were tubes, it could never really get hue and tint right a lot of the time. And so the nickname for it was Never the Same Color, NTSC. And so in the 70s, when people discovered polyester double knits, is when you saw the green jerseys from Oakland and the brown jerseys from the Padres, and just would test out all those Norelco and RCA cameras, trying to get it all in there. Pitch to Brooks. Struck him out. Dravecky, his fan, too, and the Expos threatened but do not score. No runs, a hit, no errors. Go to the second here in Montreal, no score. Yeah, they changed a lot. PJ, did you live out, because I know you are a huge Oakland, California Seals fan. Did you live out in California? And some of the Padre combinations were better than others. Nettles at 204. 3 homers and 12 RBI. Some of their stuff from the late 70s just kind of looked like a bumper sticker from a mall. Ground ball to Law, over to Galarraga, 1 out. Ted Gianella still plays the chicken, and he's only 73. I'd have thought he was older than that. Yeah, but Ted has made a living and a half being the San Diego Chicken. Was he the first? Dane Orge at 200 with 2 RBI. Told your granddaughter so that I'm So Old TV would sign off at 1 a.m. with the Star Spangled Banner. She was horrified. Yeah, I know that you grew up in Long Island. I wasn't sure if you... And how'd you follow them? Because obviously the papers, like Newsday, weren't publishing the late stuff. Pitch to Dane. Base hit, pass Brooks into left field. Raines throws it back in, and that is the first hit for San Diego. Gary Templeton, 286, a homer and 22 RBI. Well, it was only 20 when he started. He must have... I hope he salted a lot of that away. It was him and the Philly Fanatic were the first two, right? Ground ball to Law. Brooks for 1, Galarraga for 2. So a 4-6-3 double play, and we're through an inning and a half. No runs, no hits, no errors in Game 2. Padres and Expos scoreless. It was Fleer that had the San Diego chicken card. He's only 5'4". He's not much taller than I am. PJ got Seals box scores from Newsday from the West Coast a day late. Got the scores from News Radio. 10-10 wins and more than just the headlines. WCBS News Radio 88. Bong, 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 bing. Get that stuck in your head. Tim Wallach at 242, 6 homers and 27 RBI. Listen to mini games from Oakland over the East Coast Teams Radio, staying up to 1 a.m. on a school night. The Fanatic and Tommy Lasorda got into it. Didn't Tommy get Youppi thrown out of a game? Or was it the Fanatic? Struck him out. That's 3 for Dravecky in 0-2, and they got him to chase it. Here's Galarraga. Andres at 320. 2 homers and 13 RBI. There's a ground ball to the mound. Dravecky throws to first, and Galarraga is retired. 2 out for Vance Law, hitting 250. 2 homers and 19 RBI. Fly ball left field. Kruk moseys on over, and John will make the catch, and that'll do. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the third in Game 2, no score. Speaking of New York, it'll be Krucky, Dravecky, and Flannery to face Tibbs here in the third. Someone said after my appearance on Box Scores from the Basement the other day, it was Appa Chatter, by the way, the Hall of Famer, that I looked a little bit like Neil Sedaka. Ground ball to second, over to first, and that's a 4-3 out, 1 away. Dave Dravecky. Wow, Dravecky could hit. He's hitting 190 with a double. Fanatic got a start in 78. Okay. So he'd have been second behind the chicken. I had never thought of that, myself looking like Neil Sedaka. He certainly sang better than I do. There's a ground ball to Law. Vance makes a fine play over to Galarraga, 2 out. Have I ever laughed in the rain? I've gotten stuck in the rain. Electric wheelchairs and rain aren't the best combination in the world. Tib Flannery walked his first time up. Only walked for Tibbs, 2 2/3, a hit, 33 pitches. Ooh, life is laughter in the rain. Ground ball to Law, over to Galarraga, and that's a pretty clean inning. So pretty much 10 up and 9 down. No runs, no hits, no errors. Bottom of the third, no score. Billadero, Tibbs, and Raines to face Dravecky here in the third. So I was talking with Mark Unger about it. Billardillo at 333, by the way, 2 homers and 6 RBI. And we both agreed that the classic comeback song for Neil Sedaka back in the mid-70s, Bad Blood, really could have been an Alice Cooper hit. It could have been me, but it was you. You know, that sort of thing. Uh-oh, now I gotta read trivia. The Fanatic was created by the same company that made the Expos mascot, Yuppie. I could see that. They look pretty similar, which is why most mascots have a big, fuzzy, chaotic energy, which is no one has accused me of ever having. Here we go. Bad, bad, blood, blood. The bitch is in the smile, the lies on the lips. Such an evil child. That's what my wife says too, PJ. Thank goodness for the mute button. Billadillo. Fly ball, center field. McReynolds makes the catch, one out. For Jay Tibbs at 133 and a double. What? You don't think so? The mascot on the SportsCenter commercials were great, weren't they? Todd eagerly changes the subject. Yuppie was orange as a tribute to the Expos' favorite, Rusty Staub. Yep, I could. Le Grand L'Orange. They named the roof after him, too. Apparently, they're redoing the roof. What are they doing with Olympic Stadium now that they finally paid off the debt from that? Ground ball to Templeton. Gary's got it over to first, and Tibbs is retired. Tim Raine singled his first time up and stole the base. 2 2/3 for Dravecki. A hit. It was Raines, and he struck out 3. It only took 50 years. Are the Owls going to move back in? Is that the thought? The CFL team? Pitch to Raines. Fly ball, left center field. McReynolds going back and will make the catch, and that'll do. No runs, no hits, no errors. A pitcher's duel here in Montreal, the opposite of what we had earlier in New York. No score. It's okay. Someone tell PJ I'm done singing. So Gwynn, McReynolds, and Kennedy to face Tibbs. Tony 0 for 1. I know they're restoring the original ring around the stadium. I'm not quite sure what in the world they're doing. Tony drops one down. Galarraga won't even throw it. So Gwynn bunts his way on with a single. Those ESPN commercials were great. The New Jersey Devil in the elevator going down. The Penguin with the thermostat. Whoever the agency was that did those ads for ESPN was just classic. Was Evander Holyfield chasing Charlie Smith around the newsroom when he said he wasn't even the 5th best boxer in the state of Georgia? Throw to first. Gwynn back. There's actually a new Alice Cooper album with most of the original members, and I'm not convinced that it isn't an AI creation. Throw down to second. Gwynn steals his 13th of the year. He stole 37 bases in 86. The ABBA show, I don't think it's still going on in London, but that was them singing new stuff, but it was realistic animation that took their dance moves but put them on younger bodies. Charlie, come get your whooping. Yep, great stuff. 1 strike count to McReynolds in a scoreless game. Struck him out. Tibbs got him on a 1-2 fastball outside. 1 out for Kennedy, who's 0 for 1. So Gwynn on second, 1 out, top of the 4th, and the scoreless tie. Struck him out. Tibbs got 2. A 1-2. Chased out of the zone. Nettles 0 for 1. That is a base hit center field. Gwynn around third. Webster will try for Gwynn. Throws up the line, and the Padres lead at 1-0. So an RBI single from Craig Nettles, and here's Dane Orge, who singled his first time up. That is a ground ball to Law. He'll go to Brooks for the out there, and that'll do. Padres get on the board first on 2 hits and no errors. After 3.5, San Diego 1, Montreal nothing. Cooper's what, 78? So here's a change in the standings. The first game of our doubleheader. The Yankees beat the Angels in 10-9. The Yankee lead on Toronto is 1. And California falls to 3 back of Oakland. Padres 24-18. This is game 43 for them. And game 41 for Montreal. Webster's 0 for 1. Going to swing. Ground ball past Flannery into center field. For Andre Dawson, yeah, Houston could pitch, couldn't they? A major league leading 268. I believe that 320 is the Mets, which is still very good. And then the Royals in the DH League with a 335. You'll see Mike Scott later this week in his 1.91 ERA. And his major league leading 8 wins. Webster, we'll wait to see what Dravecki does. Dawson struck out his first time up. Throw to first, Webster back. See if they pitch out. They do not. Fly ball left field. Kruk moving over. Makes the catch, and Webster goes back to first. Steve read the book. These guys have all the fun about ESPN. I think I have that somewhere. Jamie says, how you doing? Whenever I think of Memorial Day from around that time, you think of the Indy 500. And it meant see, now, when I lived in New Mexico that one year, school was out Memorial Day. Hubie Brooks is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. We're going to send Webster. Kennedy throws down to Flannery, and Webster has a 7th steal. But here in good old New England, we stayed in school till Father's Day because it snowed up here. We started in late August and went till mid-June. My friends in New York started after Labor Day and then went to the same time. Fly ball, right center. McReynolds will make the grab. Webster goes back to second and will hold. So the first of our 3 holiday doubleheaders. And we'll be done with May this week. So we're only a couple weeks off the pace. Not bad for one of my projects. Tim Wallach struck out his first time up. He's 0 for 1. Yep. Whereabouts in New Mexico? Albuquerque, Santa Fe is so different from Las Cruces, which is where I lived. Wallach swings. Line drive to third. Nettles can make the play, and that'll do. Montreal gets a hit. They've left on 2. We're played 4 in game 2. 1-0 San Diego. Yep, Jim Neighbors back. I will not sing it. But I don't need to get muted again by PJ. I would pretend my feelings would be hurt, but you know that's not true. Templeton, Kruk, and Dravecki to face Tibbs here in the 5th. Gary's 0 for 1. Popped up. Law. By the line at first. 1 out. John Kruk is 0 for 1. Tibbs cruising right along. This has been the opposite of the first game of this doubleheader. This one has been a well-pitched affair. Fly ball to right. Back goes Dawson. That is well hit. Andre will have it off the wall. Kruk is into second, standing with his 4th double. They wheel out a pack of Newports and a Twinkie for John. Here's Dravecki. He's 0 for 1. Now, game is patched as of the 10th of March. So this is the most recent patch. Downloaded it this morning. Do I play him at the corners? Will the computer bunt? We'll play for it. Nice swings. Shallow center. Webster has it for the out. Kruk goes back. I can smell the pork chops my wifey's making for dinner. 2 out for Flannery, who's 0 for 1 with a walk. 18 batters for Tibbs. 69 pitches, 4 2/3. A run, it was earned. 4 hits, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. I won't sing again, I promise, today. The Sadaka thing struck me as funny, though. Walked him. So first and second, 2 out for Gwynn. Tony 1 for 2. The thing with the 500 is that it just... I grew up in Vermont, the home of one Ken Squire. Gwynn 1 for 2 with a single, who short track racing, NASCAR was his thing. But come on, my wheelchair is as much of a stock car as those cars were in the 80s. Pitch, Belladero and Tibbs have a word. First and second, 2 out. Tibbs deals, ground ball foul, first base side. Galarraga can't get there and flips it to someone from Trois Riviere. 2 out. And a 2-strike count. That the Indy cars, the kart cars, they look special. And they could go fast. You know, you're hitting pull speeds in the mid-80s at 220. And you think because you don't know any better, that's just so cool. Is there a basement broadcast tomorrow night? Yes. How you again doing, Curtis? Funny, for a long time, the Indy 500 was shown right tape. Yeah. No, I remember one year back in the late 70s, Musburger spoiled it during a basketball playoff game. But because we always had Memorial Day off, that was when they were doing it on tape delayed, I was allowed to stay up to watch the movified version of the Indy 500. Pitch to Gwynn is a ground ball to Brooks over to first, and Tony is retired. Halfway through game 2 of our doubleheader, Padres 1, Expos nothing. Up until a few years ago, the Indy 500, when it was live, was blacked out in the entire state of Indiana. 1 run for San Diego if you joined us late, 4 hits and no errors. Montreal, no runs, 2 hits and no errors. The lone run came in the 4th, a Greg Nettles single to score Tony Gwynn to make it 1-0. Dave Dravecky, a 2-hitter through 4 and 3 strikeouts. Jay Tibbs, 4 hits through 5. The 1 run was earned. He walked 2 and struck out 2. Jamie says, Galarraga 0 for 1. We had the 80 USA-USSR game spoiled by the local news plug during the game. It was so little you were happy they won, but remember my dad being, oh yeah. Yes, John makes the dice boxes. And he says the Indy 500 is something everyone should go to once in person. You were spoiled. Oh, a half mile from the gates. So what years did you go? I think I told the story last night. Galarraga 0 for 1. We lived in the pre-cable days on the wrong side of the Organ Mountains in New Mexico. And so the El Paso TV stations kind of came in. We kind of watched the Super Bowl. That was the year the Steelers beat the Rams. Pitch to Galarraga, ball 4. And so I don't know if we couldn't afford cable at that point or what, but I did not see any of those Olympics, which was strange in retrospect because I grew up a couple hours away from Lake Placid. Vance Law is 0 for 1. Oh, you went 23. Is that one of the years that Castro Neves won? It is such an intense race. Vance Law 0 for 1. And despite the fact they're going around in an oval, there's no banking. It's not like Daytona or Talladega. and B, the strategy involved. And it's not just the driver. I mean, it's the pit crew and when to do it. And I remember as a kid watching, later as a teenager and as a young adult, Bobby Unser talking about the concept of dirty air and the science behind that. Pitch to Law, walked him. So first and second now. Joseph Newgarden, okay. So nobody out, 2 on for Billadero, who you got to swing here. They play for the bunt. Nettles and Orge come in. Dan is 0 for 1, but with the pitcher spot up, you really don't want to bunt because you know that Tibbs is going to have to do it himself. Oh, Big Al, Carb Day, concerts Friday night, and the race on Sunday, yep. Curtis is down in the Austin area for the Formula Ones. Yes?
All right.
Yeah. That was outside.
Okay.
Get her.
I will. Power chops are getting posted for 15 minutes right now.
Okay.
They're getting covered and they're on low beat.
Okay.
So,
yeah, I could hear you cooking them. So Billadero's going to have to swing. So, ooh, that smells good. So Curtis, a big fan of the Circuit of America. My favorite Indy was 92. That was the year that Little Al and Goodyear, 23 hundredths of a second?
Yeah, see it a bit.
Seen a bit. Trevecki deals. There's a fly ball left field, but that's going to hook foul. And somebody from Laval makes that play, and the count is full 3-2. Indy's great, isn't it? The Indy cars have been down there, haven't they, Curtis? So my best high school buddy and I were watching that, and we had plowed through a few Bud Dries the night before. And so he was hungover as anything as I was watching that. That was great. Steve loved Indy racing back before the split. Indy 500 in Mid-Ohio and the race at Nazareth. Yep, the split hurt. It took a generation to recover from the kart IRL split. It's amazing the damage that sports can do to itself, isn't it? Pitch to Billadero, walked him. And now, oh, what do you do now? There's still nobody out here in the bottom of the 5th. Tibbs. Do you squeeze here? Oh, I'm sure, John. It's amazing post-race how the entire city of Indianapolis has the roads configured certain ways to handle the outflow. I killed Barb's internet. Curtis's dad worked with Gordon Johncock when Gordy was up and coming. Johncock drove a gravel train because of that relationship. Yep. Do we squeeze? Come on, I was doing my impression of Neil Sedaka doing metal. I don't understand why your internet would die for that. Tibbs waits for the sign. You know what? We're going to squeeze here. Safety squeeze. Puts it down, bunts it foul. And so now he's going to have to swing at it. We tried it. Barb loved it. Galarraga on third. He's a tying run. Law the go-ahead run. 2-strike count. And Billadero, an insurance run. Tibbs strikes out, so he doesn't hit into the double play. And now you got Tim Raines, who was 1 for 2. He doesn't have a steal. I thought he did. He has a single. Dravecki, 18 batters, 4 1/3. 2 hits, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. IndyCarts haven't raced at COTA. They've raced at Texas. And it wasn't safe. The G-forces were too high. Remember that. And at Michigan. Again, they can get going too fast on that 2.5-mile track. So they're loaded. Galarraga on third, Law on second, and Billadero on first. Pitch to Raines in a 1-0 game. Ground ball to Flannery. Templeton for 1, Dane for 2, and the Expos get nothing. They load the bases, but a 4-6-3 double play by Raines ends the inning. My word, they leave on 4 overall. We go to the 6th in Game 2. San Diego 1, Montreal nothing. So McReynolds, Kennedy, and Nettles to face Tibbs here in the 6th. Tibbs has thrown 81 pitches, which I didn't realize, in a 1-0 game. McReynolds 0 for 2 with the strikeout. Popped up. Wallach. It goes in the shallow left field and will make the catch. Belle Isle is great, Detroit. Remember when they actually held Formula 1 in Detroit, too. Terry Kennedy 0 for 2 with a strikeout. There's a ground ball to Law over to Galarraga. Kennedy's out. 2 away for Greg Nettles, who has the lone RBI on his single in the 4th inning. There is a ground ball to first. Galarraga. And that'll do. No runs, no hits, no errors. Bottom 6 and a good one here at the Big O. 1-0 San Diego. I'm sure Greg did Toronto a few times, right? Molson Indy. Webster, Dawson, and Brooks to face Trevecki here in the 6th. Mitch is 1 for 2 with a single. There is a ground ball to third. Nettles has to wait on many hops. And Webster is out on a bang-banger. For Dawson, who's 0 for 2 with the strikeouts. How you doing, Mark? Now, Mark, you'll have to go back and find me singing Neil Sedaka as Alice Cooper. I'm not doing it again. PJ had to mute me. Dawson swings center field. McReynolds going back will make the catch, and there's 2 out for Hubie Brooks. Hubie is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Ground ball to Trevecki over to Dane, and that will do. So Trevecki pitching well. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the 7th in Game 2. Now, you definitely should be scrolling for that. It is the Padres 1, the Expos nothing. So Dane, Templeton, and Kruk to face Mr. Tibbs here in the 7th. Dane is 1 for 2. Right back up the box. Tibbs throws it to Galarraga. My Alice Cooper doing Neil Sedaka impression was so good. It was so good, I knocked out Barb's internet in the process. Templeton 0 for 2. I haven't looked yet. I think we're going to have to set up another file for that and kind of ignore all the stuff that went on in Game 1. Just pretend it rained for a few days because we set that up to be a one-off. And I used all 4 of my starters in that game. So technically no one would be fresh. So go with who you want to go with. And I will. And let me know, by the way, the pitchers you want to add. So we both have 10. Because we only set that up for 7 pitchers. There's a ground ball to third. Wallach's got it. Great play over to Galarraga for the out. So Timmy, a very good defender. 2 out for Kruk, who doubled his first, has a double, and is 1 for 2. Yeah, don't go with Scherzer and don't go with Palmer, right? Is that who you used? But beyond that, we'll be good. When I went to Montreal to see the Expos play in '88, I was amazed because obviously the no DH. And Wallach, for a bunt, he wasn't quite on the home plate circle for the dirt, but he couldn't have been more than 15 feet away from home plate. Just so heads up to play it. Because he played in Montreal and because his peak was not legendary like Nettles, but Timmy is one of the great defensive third basemen of all time. Pitch to Kruk. There's a high ground ball to Brooks over to Galarraga, and Kruk is retired. Stretch time, 1-0 San Diego. So Seaver will not be starting. So Seaver and Scherzer are knocked out for game 2. But beyond that, anybody. Wallach won the gold. Wallach won the Gold Glove the year that Schmitty moved to first. I'm afraid to read what Steve wrote. Have I ever listened to Richard Cheese? He did elevator music versions of rock songs. Schmitty took it back when he went to third. I'm not taking anything away from Schmidt or Brett, or Schmidt as far as a defender, but Wallach was quite good. Oh, my word. No, Steve, I can safely say that that is not a name that I'm familiar with. Wallach has struck out. He's 0 for 2. 1 run, 4 hits, no errors for San Diego. They've left on 4. No runs, 2 hits, and no errors for Montreal, and they have left on 4. That is a fly ball center field. McReynolds will be there, 1 out. That sounds like something you'd see on or hear on Dr. Demento. Andres Galarraga is 0 for 1 with a walk. Dravecki deals, and Andres draws the walk. For Vance Law, 0 for 1 with a walk. Dravecki has walked 4 and struck out 4. Struck him out, make it 5. A 1-2, and Law swung at it too early. He does an elevator lounge version of Down with Sickness. Yeah, John came up, Mark, with the Padres. Of course, best known for being a Philly. Was he with Philadelphia or San Diego when he put on the backwards helmet for Randy Johnson in that All-Star game? Billadero 0 for 1 with a walk. Base hit center field. Maybe? No! Webster with a good catch. And that'll do. No runs, no hits. Philadelphia. Okay. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the 8th. 1-0 San Diego. See what the Padres do with Dravecki here. He is 0 for 2. Flannery and Quint to follow. Tibbs, maybe last inning. Ground ball to short. Brooks, 1 out. For Flannery, 0 for 1. He's walked twice. 27 batters deep for Tibbs. A good outing, 7 1/3. The 1 run was earned in the 4th. He's only allowed 4 hits, 2 walks, and struck out 2. Tibbs was with the Orioles. And Tibbs a good number 3. A good candidate to be in his own high school Hall of Fame. Pitch to Flannery. Fly ball left field. Rains will make the catch, and there's 2 out. Tony Gwynn 1 for 3. He's got a single. Now, how many people remember Tony Gwynn stealing nearly 40 bags? Stole 37 in real life in 86. Tibbs deals. That is off the mound. Brooks plays it off the backside, throws to first, and Tony's out. And that'll do. No runs, no hits, no errors. Tibbs will come out. He threw 8 strong. We go to the bottom of the 8th. 1-0 San Diego. So we got a bunch of potential pinch hitters here against Dravecki. And it will be Jim Wolford. Wolford is a pinch hitter, hitting 176, hitting 238 overall with 2 doubles. 88-90. So Tibbs was part of that Oriole team that nearly stole the East in '89. And he draws the walk, so the tying run is on. Padres left Dravecki in. Rains 1 for 3. 27 batters deep for Dravecki. 7 innings plus 2 hits, 5 walks, and 5 strikeouts. The Why Not Orioles. They came close in '92. The strike year. Ground ball to second. Flannery waits. Only play is to first. They get range, and Wolford moves to second. For Mitch Webster, 1 for 3. Yep, the Orioles, who had that bad start to 88, they brought in Frank Robinson. And just like Vicky Sue Robinson, he turned the beat around. You got to hear percussion. Webster swings. That is line to left. Crook. Does he get there? Yes, he does. 2 out. What a play for John Crook. For Andre Dawson, who's 0 for 3. That was the year that Baltimore started 0 for 21. Got on the cover of the Sporting News for that. And Tibbs was 5 and 14 that year. I had the best producers in the business, let me tell you, because I remember them starting horrible. But if you would ask me, Ron, yes, you either tell me Jay Tibbs' record 88 or you sing more Alice Cooper. P-Jet would have frantically looked that up on Baseball Reference for me to tell you that he went 5 and 14. Pitch to Dawson. There's a fly ball to right. Back goes Gwynn. Tony should get there. He does. And the Expos are done in the 8th. No runs, no hits, and no errors. They leave a runner on. They've left on 6. We go to the 9th. This is everything the first game wasn't. It's 1-0 San Diego. So with McReynolds at the plate, who do I go? I guess I go with McGaffigan's pitched like 9 times. Reardon's pitched 3 days in a row. I guess we're going to go with Dan Schatzeder. Schatzeder making his 17th appearance. He's done July 22nd, by the way. 3-1. He's won his last 3 decisions with a 3.55 ERA. All right, Mark. Talk to you later. Dan is 31. Fastball at 85 and a fly ball pitcher. Faced the Dodgers 4 days ago in a 6-1 loss. 2 innings, 27 pitches, and a hit. 25 and a third, 22 hits, 10 runs, all earned. He's allowed 2 homers. He's walked 12 and struck out 14. So McReynolds starts us off. He's 0 for 3. 1-0 Padres as we start the 9th. Fly ball, left center, Webster. Has a long run, makes the catch, 1 out for Kennedy. Terry is 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Nettles on deck. For Montreal in the 9th, Brooks, Wallach, and Galarraga. There is a chopper to third. Wallach going to make an error here to prove me wrong, right? Throws to first. No, Kennedy beat it out. It was a hard hop that kind of bounced away from Wallach, so he doesn't get the poor play. He got a genuine bounce, but it was a bounce too soft. 1 out for Nettles, who's 1 for 3. Yep. We had the pitcher's duel at this one and pinball in game 1. Pops it up. Billadero to the screen. Out of play, and it's 2-2. Somebody from St. Albans made that catch. Schatzeder deals. Fly ball, shallow right. Dawson comes in, makes the catch, and Kennedy goes back to first. You never know. I mean, that's the joy of baseball, I think, Todd. You could expect something to happen, and you just never know. It rarely goes on form. And they've both been good games. Dane Orge, 1 for 3 with a single. 2 out. Schatzeder trying to keep this a 1-run game. And Carmelo Martinez will pinch hit. He had the big home run against the Mets last week. Carmelo, as a pinch hitter, 267 with an RBI. Overall, 241, 4 homers, and 14 RBI. There's a fly ball to left. Ranges, makes the catch. And the goose is coming in. So Dravecky, 8 shutout innings of 2-hit ball. What a performance by Dave Dravecky. Gossage coming in, 1-0 San Diego. I was surprised. He's only 34 here. I thought he was considerably older. I thought he was closer to 40. Fastball still at 92, a ground ball pitcher. He is blown 5 saves. He has 9, which leads the National League in 14 tries. He's 0-4 with a 66.30 ERA, which isn't good. He faced the Mets on the 23rd, a game I believe we did, in a 3-2 win. He went 1 inning, 23 pitches, 2 hits, allowed the game-tying home run, and a strikeout. So it was a blown save, but not a decision. 20 innings for Gossage, 20 hits, 15 runs, 14 earned, 6 homers, 8 walks, and 22 strikeouts. So Brooks is 0 for 3, Wallach is 0 for 3, and Galarraga is 0 for 1. And it's 1 to tie, 2 to win. Struck him out. That's 1. Gossage can still fire it up there. He chased an 0-2 fastball, 1 away. For Wallach, 0 for 3 with a K. There's a chopper to Flannery. Tim has to wait. Throws to Martinez, who's a 4 at first, 2 out. So last chance saloon is Andres Galarraga. That's true, especially as a closer, Todd. 1 inning can make your ERA really, really bad. Although Goose's ERA in 86 was 4.45. Steve, this has been great. Nice close games. And I think it's an era that most of us know pretty well. Pitch to Galarraga. Fly ball left center. Back goes McReynolds. We're tied up. A 2-out game-tying home run from Andres Galarraga, and the Cat makes it a 1-1 game. My word. Goose played till 94, the strike. Here it is again. That one got grooved. And Galarraga took him to the left center bleachers. San Diego was 1 out away with a strikeout hitter at the plate from winning this one. It's only the 3rd hit Montreal has had. So here's Law, who is 0 for 2 with a walk and a strikeout. Trevor Hoffman, yeah. Todd Jones, same thing in Detroit 1 year. Yes, no Bob Stanley. 7 home runs for Gossage in 20 2/3. He only allowed 8 in 64 2/3. That ball was somebody's child. It will be in about 9 months, John. The big Cat strikes again. Pitch to Law. Got away from Kennedy. They throw down to Martinez, and Gossage just slams his glove into the bench. We're going to the 10th. The solo homer from Andres Galarraga means that we're not done yet. Free baseball twice today. After 9, it's the Padres 1, the Expos 1. So Templeton, Kruk, and Gossage to face Schatzeder here in the 10th. Templeton 0 for 3. Gossage having a Bob Wickman type of reliever season. Chopper to short. Brooks, 1 out. For John Kruk, 1 for 3 with a double. That wasn't even close. I mean, Galarraga just smashed the daylights out of that. Krucky 1 for 3. Struck him out. Schatzeder got him. And that'll, I'm sure, do it. You are not going to bat Gossage. Nope, with 2 out, nobody on. Kruk shook his head, by the way, on that 2-2. And Steve Garvey, as a big Air Canada ad plays on the Jumbotron. Garvey, first pinch hit appearance, 273. I take it that the consecutive game streak was over at this point. 6 homers and 35 RBI. Base hit right field. Dawson cuts it off, and Garvey's on with the 6th hit. So 1 run, 6 hits, no errors for San Diego. They've left on 5. For the Expos, a run on 3 hits, no errors, and they've left on 6. Flannery, 0 for 2 with 2 walks. Satzer deals. Struck him out. So the Padres threaten but do not score. And it'll be Craig Lefferts. So Garvey does not stay in the game. Martinez continues at first base. Lefferts in the 9-hole will try to keep this a 1-1 game, although his numbers aren't that great. In real life, his earned run average was close to 3. On the replay, in 22 appearances, it's 567 with a 1-1 record. Lefferts 28, fastball at 90. Yes, those frequent flyer miles. Oh, he broke his wrist in 83. Now I'd be concerned about how much you remember, John. He pitched against the Mets in that series down at the Murph on the 24th. That 6-4 loss. He went 1 inning, 13 pitches, and a hit. 27 innings for Lefferts. Talk about someone whose one bad inning can make your whole thing go nuts. 32 hits, 17 runs, all earned. He has walked 13 and struck out 19. It was the Giants that beat him on the 18th of April, and it was the Reds he beat on the 12th. Def Lefferts. There you go. Armageddon it. So Billadero, you could hit Schatzer. Remember, Dan can actually hit. Dan's 0 for 2. That is a line drive to Flannery. 1 out. Again, Schatzer's their best option. He was a pinch hitter every once in a while. 3 for 4 on the year with a run scored. Struck him out. 2 out for Raines, who's 1 for 4. That is a base hit in the center field, and the winning run is on. Now, Webster is 1 for 4. I remember being bummed when Garvey broke his wrist, because when I would get the strat cards the following year, he wouldn't be able to play every day. Was there an injury rating in the strat cards? So Raines takes a large lead off, but they're going to wait to see what Lefferts does. Webster trying to push Raines along. And Webster draws the walk. He'll pull up the Adirondack chair, and Raines, the only runner now that matters, is in scoring position with 2 out for Andre Dawson. Dawson is 0 for 4 with a strikeout. I remember when I got Strat for the computer in 91 with the 90 cards, doing a quick sim, and the computer sat down Cal Ripken. He played in 161 of 162 games. Should have written off the game right there. Pitch to Dawson. Walked him, and now they're loaded, and no place to put anybody. And as Celine Dion sings, we'll stay. Oh, sorry. Wasn't going to sing anymore. Here's Hubie Brooks. He is 0 for 4. He has struck out twice. Blasphemy. Raines on third. Webster pulls up the Adirondack chair on second, and so does Dawson on first. Inexcusable to bum him. So here we go. Lefferts trying to get out of this. A 1-1 tie, 2 out, bottom 10. Lefferts and Kennedy have a word. Here's the pitch. Popped up behind the plate. Kennedy can't get there. And now it's a full count to Hubie Brooks. So no place to put him. Oh, he would have had an injury on the card. Yep. Strat didn't remove the injury from the cards to the original 85 set. I don't think Ripken was hurt. I think it was that the computer arrested him. My compact 286 laptop. Anyway, so Raines on third. Webster on second. Dawson on first. A full count to Brooks. Yeah, I suppose you take it. I'll do that. And he walks home the winning run. Raines claps his hands. Leffert looks downcast, and the Expos literally walk it off. 2-1. I'd never thought of that. So 3 hours and 45 fake minutes. 2 walk-off wins today. One for the Yankees 10-9 and one for the Expos 2-1. 2 great games, 2 runs, terrible way to lose, but you got to throw strikes. 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors. Montreal goes to 24-17. The Padres, 1 run, 6 hits, no errors. They fall to 24-19. They both left on 6. Jay Tibbs is the computer's choice for the MVP. Galarraga would be my choice. He's the reason why we went there. He had that monster home run in the 9th to tie it at 1. Tibbs, 8 innings, 4 hits. A run it was earned. He walked 2 and struck out 2. Schatzeder, 4-1 now. 2 innings, 2 hits, and 2 strikeouts. Dravecki, oh my goodness, 8 innings, 2 hits, 5 walks, and 5 strikeouts. And Schatz got the win. Sounds like something you should open, right? Schatz. C'est magnifique. Gossage blows the save with a homer to Galarraga in the 9th, his 6th blown save. He struck out 2. And Lefferts couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. He walked 3 and struck out 1 in the loss. Let's do the rest of this Monday for you in baseball, and then call it a stream after 2 hours and 16 minutes. Oh, my goodness. Wasn't that fun? 20 innings of baseball today. And my throat is making me pay for it. It wasn't even a full schedule in Major League Baseball. Tigers beat the A's 11-5. Frank Tanana 4-2. Joaquin Andujar 4-3. Darrell Evans hits his 14th, goes 3 for 4. Yankees pound out 16 hits. And their win, Easler and Mike Pagliarulo hit 2 homers and drove in 4. I forgot that. And Detroit in that win had 5 homers. Cleveland beat Bruce Hurst 2-1. The Red Sox are 9.5 out of first place. Wow. Pittsburgh beats Atlanta 10-8. Rick Rhoden gets the win 5-2. Bruce Sutter goes back on the DL. He's 0-1. Dale Murphy 2 for 5 hits 2. He now has 8 and is driven in 5. Jays keep pace with New York. They beat Minnesota 8-6. Doyle Alexander goes to 2-5. Mark Portugal goes to 1-4. Alvin Woods 2 homers, 2 for 4, drives in 3. Cubs beat the Reds 4-3 at Wrigley. Eckersley picks up his first win. Scott Terry picks up his first loss. Lee Smith gets his 7th save. Seattle beats Baltimore 5-1. Young goes to 4-3. Storm Davis 3-4. Cal Ripken hits his 6th. 2 for 4 with a double. Milwaukee beats Kansas City 3-2. Danny Darwin 1-1. Dan Quisenberry takes a loss. He's 0-4. Cecil Cooper hits a 2nd. Drives in 2, goes 2 for 4. Houston beats St. Louis 9-5. Larry Anderson gets his first win. Ken Daly takes a loss. He goes to 1-1. Won't you hit a home run, Mark Bailey? Won't you hit a home run? 1 for 3, hits a 2nd and a walk. And the White Sox beat the Rangers 4-2. Schmidt goes to 1-0. Guzman goes to 5-2. And John Cangelosi hits a double, goes 2 for 2, and steals 2 bases. So we are together again on this channel on oh, sorry, Barb. I'm managing the Mets. Dodgers Mets from Shea, Jerry Royce, and Dwight Gooden. We'll see you for that on Wednesday. Thank you so much for watching. We'll talk to you later on. Have a good one, everybody.